Television is saying the dinar has grown in strength locally and that the decline of the dollar market is looking good, saying this is great that the black market is failing, the monetary reform is succeeding and soon to bring forth what was promised. Frank, woo. Yes, it is great because this is what is needed in order to bring out the new exchange rate. As the dollar drops, your currency grows. In Iraq, full decisions of the cabinet meeting. They are getting into the big, heavy decisions they have in front of them. The reforms going on in Iraq are impressive. Why'd I point them out? Many are part of their white papers and banking and monetary reforms along with the increase of the purchasing power of the dinar. I was recently asked what rate will the new rate be for the Iraqi dinar after the RV. I explained unless you are on the decision-making board for the U.S. Treasury, CBI, and the Iraqi government, then it is pointless trying to figure that out. The new rate for the Iraqi dinar will be calculated so Iraq's economy can thrive in the region and globally once the nation goes international. What is the total spending and price of a barrel of oil in the 2025 budget? Quote, the price of a barrel of oil in the 3-year budget, to which the 2025 budget is subject, was set at $70. Just wanted to reiterate once again that the budget is based on the prices of a barrel of oil and not the rate of the dinar. They never held up announcing a budget because of the RV. The central bank publishes the controls for declaring funds and their entry or exit from Iraq. One of the things I was always told is that they would secure the borders to restrict flow of cash, specifically dinar, out of the country in the days before the RV. Can only take $10 grand US, and cannot leave the country with more than $1 million dinar. I think this one is important. I got a call late last night from a 3-letter agency guy. He was extremely excited, didn't give me an exact time. We shall see, Mr. Sammy just said don't be surprised to see the notes being exchanged out early to mid-November. Frank, so do I. Firefly. Sammy says they have already started with the new exchange centers, where they can return the 3-0 notes. These centers are already open. Frank, holy shit. I didn't know they were turning in their 3-0 notes. Are they getting credit for those 3-0 notes to get lower notes? Firefly, no, they did open all these centers in order for Iraqi citizens to bring in the worn and torn old 3-0 notes. They replaced them with newer ones. And we're turning in our American dollars. Frank, they are preparing you Iraqi citizens to receive the lower notes, call it a precursor. US dollar exchange rate significantly declines in Iraq, that's what you want to see happen. You want the Iraqi dinar to increase in value versus the United States dollar. This is their idea of significantly. It went from 17.5 dinars for every dollar down to 14.97.5 for every dollar. They are talking to the Iraqi citizens under the umbrella of what they're calling the hybrid monetary plan. Iraq is losing billions per month. Why aren't they pumping oil out of the Sahand? I think that's because they need to value the assets, which is oil coming out of the ground. What is going to be the components of that base currency they talk about? What is the base currency they talk about? The Iraq dinar. If it's going to be a base currency, what's the real effective exchange rate? And that's those budget tables in 2024. That's what I'm looking for. I think we're going to see them in very short order. TV says Iraq has implemented a new hybrid monetary process. Frank, a second set of book that uses a different exchange rate. Approval of the Security Sector Reform Implementation Plan in Iraq. This is part of the removal of the UN mission in Iraq. Removing the UN security mission is big news. When that happens, there will be a complete 100% sovereign Iraq. We get paid and the Iraq people get paid. Mohammed al-Daraji, the Iraqi Prime Minister's advisor for technical affairs, stated on Tuesday that Iraq's foreign loans exceeded $8 billion, stressing the federal government's efforts to reduce pressure on the dinar exchange rate by diversifying dealings in other currencies. This came in his speech during his hosting of a dialogue seminar entitled, Making Iraq Investable: Challenges and Opportunities, on the sidelines of the Middle East Research Institute, Mary, forum held in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region. Al-Duraji said during his hosting that Iraq's loans are $8.7 billion, which is a small percentage compared to the country's huge imports, so we have opportunities and the ability to take loans, but we do not do that, but rather we care about attracting traders and businessmen to invest. He added that the law on sovereign loans to finance industrial projects, which was recently approved by the Iraqi parliament, will contribute to developing industry and operating the Iraqi private sector, expecting that the private sector will join the international community economically, and from here to 10 years it is possible for the private sector to build a resume for itself so that international banks will finance its projects.